I'm on. I'm gonna hook you up right now. Hey, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. Let me do my thing right quick while Dusty gets back on. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve after dark to concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. This is how we do it every week, y'all. We are back. We got plenty to talk about. And it goes like this, y'all. It goes like this. What up, folks? This is your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. I'm sitting here by myself for the time being. Dusty is trying to get online right now. Sometimes these things do what they want to do, and I'm hoping that this last link I said put him on track. In the meantime, folks, hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing fantastic. Having a good Tuesday. And as you very well know, this time last week, we were at City Hall in Compton, crossing our fingers, waiting on the city council to do what they did and bring us a resolution that would give the city of Compton and the hip hop world a street named after Eazy. And the street is done. It's called Eazy Street, folks. It's called Eazy Street. We had a little contest on ran a little something on Facebook, and that was the most popular name. It was Eric Wright Way, Eazy E Street. And when we came up with the Eazy Street, it was like, yeah, that's something he would appreciate. So yeah, folks, it's all good. As I wait for Dusty to come back online right quick. Where is he at? He should be here. Add guest. I'm adding a guest. Copying the link. And he should be here by now. Let's see what happens now. Sometimes these computers or me, we just forget what we got to do. I don't know why, but there he is. There he is. I can cancel that. There you go. Dusty Vision. What's up with you, Doc?
Oh, man. Doing good, man. Gotta love technology.
Every once in a while, technology reserves the right to trip like a good woman. Even the best women don't trip on your ass. And, the best
I like that analogy.
The best of them. So, yeah, folks, we are here. We are back. What you got for me today, Doc?
Man, we got a lot to talk about, Lonzo. A lot to talk about. Let's jump right into it, man. And if anybody has any questions for the world famous Lonzo, the Grandmaster, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, please comment in the comment section, and I will definitely copy and paste, and we'll get to them. But let's jump into the first thing, Lonzo. I would love your thoughts on this. Gunna, who is a gangster rapper that we've discussed several times on the show. Give everybody a brief rundown really quick if they don't remember. He was part of YSL, Young Thug's label / gang, according to federal agents. He was the one who got into heat about a year ago because, for lack of better words, he snitched. When asked if YSL was involved in illegal gang activity, Gunna said, yes, ma'am. The rap world shunned him. Gunna was a snitch. They even made up phrases like Gunna tell. Anyway, Gunna just sold out a big stadium in New York, an arena actually, and a sold out crowd. Meanwhile, popular rappers, Lonzo, like Lil Baby and Lil Durk, they're having problems selling tickets. So much so that they're canceling shows. So the quote snitch is selling out arenas, Lonzo, while the rappers who quote kept it real are having a hard time filling seats. And, whether anyone likes it or not, Tekashi 6ix9ine hit 1 billion streams this year, and he's doing shows all over the world, mainly in South America and Europe and all that. But are we in a new era, Lonzo, where no one cares if you snitch or not?
Man, we in an area. Oh, it's a record that I heard. I was thinking about this record the other night. I was coming to the pad. It was an old record, and it said everything bad is good and everything good is bad. Okay, that was the hook. Everything good is bad and everything bad is good. And I thought about that song. I said I should redo that goddamn song and just do it from my perspective as an OG, because everything you thought was bad ain't as bad as it was. And it's amazing, man, how people have a short memory. And again, this man probably did what the 20,000 people that came to see him would have done in his situation. Okay. If he didn't kill nobody, if he didn't do any of those heinous crimes that they accused him of, and he was looking at the same time for being around folks as opposed to the people that was active in doing the crimes, dude, that's a hell of a decision to make. After what at some point in time, you gotta say, fuck the streets. I gotta go home. I mean, again, I'm not telling nobody to turn states on your homie, but if you were not, you just got picked up in the suite because you was at the house visiting. Dude, I didn't.
Good looking OG Steve. Love you, man. Happy late birthday, bro.
Always. If you didn't do that, man, you just happen to be passing by the pad or dropping off something, all of a sudden, let's say you from the hood and you the Uber Eats driver, the pizza boy. You drop off a pizza, walk out the door, all of a sudden the feds is there. Now you know what's going on, but you ain't done nothing. I'm not saying he's that innocent, but self-preservation is a motherfucker. Going home to your people, okay, especially if the feds knew who did what when they picked everybody up. They picked him up for a reason. Not because he did something. They knew damn well he didn't do nothing, and he would cut a deal. He would help them get the evidence they needed to get the guy they wanted to get. And that's part of the game, folks. If you want to do 25, 30 years on some loyalty shit, that's cool. That's up to you. He chose not to. And the people, obviously 20,000 people in New York didn't give a damn that he did. Meanwhile, you got other folks that's playing hardcore. Now, when you playing hardcore in some situations, you may have turned your fans off to be in the presence of your ass because so much shit's around you. This is some things people don't think about. You can talk so much shit. You got so much shit going on. Do you really want people to be in that situation where they might get shot at one of your events? Think about this, man. Think about this. When you create a whirlwind of confusion, always got some bullshit going on, you make people have second thoughts about attending your event because there's a good chance somebody gonna get shot, somebody gonna get killed, and if I ain't there, it won't be me. And that's a good philosophy to have. And I'm just keeping it 100.
That is so true, Lonzo. I went to a show a few years back at a venue, and it was mainly gangster rappers. And I'll tell you right now, Lonzo, I kept my girl nearby me. I looked at all the exits because I felt uneasy, right. Man. There was Crips here, Bloods here, essays over here, no security, everybody smoking weed. I was just like, first of all, I'm never coming back to this event. And yeah, I go places now where I feel safe, dog. I'm 45 years old, man. I can't be getting shot.
Man, look, that. I ain't got a backstage pass. I ain't going. If I ain't got a backstage pass, I ain't going. That's just Lonzo. That's just my personal preference. If I don't have a backstage pass, and one thing I know about backstage, security is backstage. Okay, the exit doors are backstage. If some shit jump off backstage, it's usually going to be a small amount of shit that you can avoid or get away from, as opposed to the melee that's going to take place out front, trying to get out of your aisle, away from the door, whatever the case may be. Nah, man, to the parking lot, dude. Nah. Worst case scenario, if you go backstage and you hang out backstage, I've already figured it out. Jump your ass under one of them goddamn big rigs. You'll be all right. Jump behind one of them big rigs, okay? Or be somewhere near the main artist. You'll be all right. You got to go outside, get behind one of them big rigs, one of them forklifts. Ain't nothing going through them forklifts. Them forklifts are solid as shit. Okay? Find out what the action is and be on the other side of it. Very simple process.
That's a great question. Stem Radio says, yeah, why is it we love hip hop, but yet going to hip hop shows, you always feel on edge? And that's some artists. I went to a Nas concert. I did not feel that way, but a lot of the artists I love, yes, they bring a certain following, and I just watch them on YouTube, man. Now
they cater to low vibe people, man. And low vibe people gonna do low vibe shit. Don't give a damn what you say. Low vibe gonna get you low vibe. Like what my boy say, you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. Hey, that's the prize you get when you play and you cater to a certain clientele.
Facts, man. Yeah. Love where this is going already, Lonzo. You know, I was listening to Legendary Connects this past Friday, and shout out to Legendary Connects. If anyone out there has not checked it out, it's Lonzo's show that he does with Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps on Fridays. They always drop some good gems. I was checking out a conversation you had, and you briefly mentioned something. I would love for you to go into it more. You mentioned you had an idea that you brought to the police, to the city, that I found was great, but they said they couldn't do it. Tell us about Snitch, SNITH.
Sharing necessary information to community households. Snitch, it was a podcast that I was about to start. And I can't take credit for the acronym because me and Unknown went back and forth on that for a while. Okay. And it's something, man, that unfortunately, as derogatory, with the derogatory street association with that name, I got a lot of pushback on that. But I told them, if y'all can make nigga a word of endearment, you can make snitch work too, man. But there's certain things that when you're invested in the community, that you'll have a different perspective. See, when you're passing through or living in your mama's house and you ain't really invested in the community, you know, this is something that you're going to do for the time being. You hit a crash for a minute, or you got you a little spot over here, but fuck around and get you a house. Fuck around and put you down $30,000, $40,000 on a pad, or even more nowadays, and all of a sudden shit start changing. You just can't pull up stakes and roll up out of here because you got a mortgage and you got credit issues. You're lucky to be here where you are. You don't want to open that can of worms of interest rates and change, and so you got to fight for your right to party and keep your neighborhood the way you want it to be. And that was something somebody asked me one time recently, man. You ever thought about moving? First of all, I live in a nice area. Second of all, my mortgage interest rate is low as shit. Okay. I got one of them situations when they first went down. I jumped all over that. We find my shit is real good. Okay. It ain't as good as my sister's, but it's good enough for me. Second of all, where the hell am I gonna go? Okay. I'm gonna run out someplace and my house note is gonna jump up $1,500 just to get away from where I'm at. So me and my neighbors, we stick together. Okay. We don't allow anything in my neighborhood, dude. We don't allow anything in my neighborhood. And what I saw and what I've learned a lot more since I've been the president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce and a co-partner in the Compton newspaper. I've been talking to a lot of people, a lot of homeowners who've been around for a long time. And when you have, your vested interest, you got 30 years, 25 years in this property over here. You just seen everybody come and go. You just saw everybody get married, get divorced, the new neighbors. And at some point in time, you have a commitment to this piece of property. This is your shit. And you ain't gonna let nobody fuck over it. And that's bottom line. If it means you got to call the police, you got to call whoever to get the bad elements out your neighborhood, you will do that to protect your shit. Because bottom line is, it's your shit.
Shit. Yeah, my microphone fell. Yeah, and you mentioned that, and I have a story behind something kind of similar as well, but you mentioned that the police told you could record the crime in progress, but the police told you that if they don't see it with their own eyes, there's little to nothing they could do, right?
That's for a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor. That's what security guards get paid for. Security guards basically get paid for observing and reporting. Okay, that's why nowadays security guards let you walk out of here with shit, because when security guards got aggressive, the people that were stealing would get aggressive with the security guard. Security guard whoop your ass or slam your head to the wall or some shit. The people that's stealing is suing the company now. So you suing the company for $15,000, $20,000 over some shit that only costs $500. So it's a loss for the insurance company. So they said, for now, let's let them go out the door. And which is fucked up for the business person, because now I got to pay for every one of these damn things. I don't get a shoplifter allowance. I don't get an allowance for people walking in my store and walking out with shit for free. I got to pay for every last one of them. And the more people steal, the less profit I can make, which is going to make me raise my goddamn prices. So it's a fucked up situation. But I was telling Dre also, and I came up with a term. I couldn't think about it. I didn't come up with it the other day, but since we had this conversation, this was on my mind as well. And I was on the treadmill, and I thought about this term, and I called it paracop or parapolice. Just like they got the paramedics, they got paralegals. They're people who they're not sworn, but they are paid observants. Okay, and they should be able to record and report shit like a security guard. Not getting, you ain't got the right to arrest, you ain't got the right to do shit. All your job is to do is to see shit and let us know what you saw so we can go after the shit. And to make it worth their while, they get paid for a piece of the fine. Not vigilantes. See, vigilantes go out there and start kicking ass. Okay. Vigilantes go out there and kicking ass, and vigilantes may do more damage.
I just saw Equalizer. I love that shit.
I did too. Okay. Vigilantes do a little bit more. They go out there and they actually go kick some ass. Okay. But these people right here are just, hey, you know what? That would be a good term. Video vigilantes. Okay. Video vigilantes. All they do is record shit and make sure that the police know what's going on. And there may be some detectives or whatever the case may be. All their job is to do is go through these videos and pursue those cases. Okay. If it means sending somebody, especially in Compton, one of the big problems we have in Compton is people illegal dumping. The people that patrol the illegal dumping areas, they get off work at 6 o'clock. Most illegal dumping takes place late at night. So the chance of them getting caught is slim and none. The people that patrol that, think it's code enforcement, they're going to be home and sleep, wake up in the morning, surprise, big old pile of trash. Okay? Big ass pile of trash, middle of the street, driveway, alley, whatever the case may be. But if somebody has a Ring camera or phone camera, because everybody got cameras everywhere, I think law enforcement is really slipping on not thinking how to resolve some of these problems that we incur. You ain't got to have somebody wrestle nobody. Just get their picture, get their video, get their license plate number, and send it to the police. Let them do their job. Okay. And the people that does this, you get, it's just like the old street light tickets. Okay, the tickets, when you ran the light, they was crooked as hell because the light could be green as shit. That motherfucker still flash on your ass. But this would be something that people are actually qualified to do. They take a little test and they understand their law, their rules. Their job is only to observe and report. Okay, observe and send the videos. All right, and once they do that, if they once that fine is imposed and they get paid, shit, they get paid too. It may get 10%. You know, and maybe even a monthly stipend just to be out there in the first place. And you don't need no badge. You don't get a badge. all you get is a number, and that you send your shit into the police department. You don't get no identification, so nobody knows that you're doing this shit. And you just, you know, because man, there's a lot of money being missed out here, far as fines and shit. That's a lot of money. People just drive crazy these days. These illegal U-turns, all these niggas doing these bad turns and shit. I saw a fool. We was going down the Harbor Freeway one day. A fool actually was trying to get on a little overramp, an overpass, the overramp in the middle by Vernon. This fool actually was going across 3 lanes of freeway, making like a left turn, stop traffic all the way across, just to get on an overpass. And like, dude, I was talking about the same program with my buddy. He thought it was all fucked up. That's fucked up. Nah, man, look at this fool right here. He was, man, he stopped. He had traffic stopped backed up to downtown LA. It was already slow. So I guess he figured he can creep over there. I mean, he literally was going east. He was headed east on the north side of the freeway, south side of the freeway. But yeah, there's ways to do this shit, man. If folks do some thinking, people are lazy, dude.
Wow,
people are lazy, and you can assign AI to do the goddamn investigation. Shit, all you need is a damn.
Thank you.
You know, I just got something, man. I have to do. Let me read something to you right quick. One of my people, shout out to Judy. Shout out to Judy. She says, I was messing around with AI and I typed in your name And it says what she did was develop a social media post about Lonzo Williams, the godfather of West Coast hip hop. And this is what it says: honoring the godfather of West Coast hip hop, Alonzo Williams. Join us in celebrating the iconic Alonzo Williams, a man who's laid the foundation for West Coast hip hop from the streets of Los Angeles to the world stage. His influence is felt far and wide. Alonzo's groundbreaking contributions, co-founder of world-class Wreckin Cru, mentor to Dr. Dre and DJ Yella, pioneered electro and West Coast rap styles, shaped the sound of N.W.A. and Eazy. His legacy continues to inspire generations of artists and fans alike. Let's show our respect and love for a true trailblazer of the game. I mean, dude, this was done with AI.
Isn't that crazy?
This was done with
That's
AI.
something that would take a human being hours to do.
You know what I'm saying? She just typed my name in the CPT chat, and that's what it came. First of all, it's scary as fuck for somebody to know that much about your ass. That's scary
yes,
as shit.
Sir.
Okay? That's scary. That's real scary. The last time I felt like that, man, because I didn't know he even knew me like that. I was talking to LL Cool J one day. I was at Skate World on Wheels, and clientele introduced me to him. I hadn't seen LL since fucking Dudos. We never had a phone conversation. And, hey, Lonzo, man, I'm glad he made it out today, dude. Bruh, man, you're a legend in the hip hop, the Godfather. Your contribution with all the nightclubs and the concerts and everything you've done with World Class Wreckin Cru and the distribution company. I'm like, nigga, where you get my bio from? Where you get my bio from? Okay, he talking about shit that I didn't think he would know about, but it surprised the hell out of me. Anyway, that's this, man. This is the world. So with that kind of situation, if people were able to, I mean, everybody got cameras everywhere. And I know, it's bad to be on tape, on camera, blah, blah, blah. But man, sometimes cops can't be everywhere, and too much shit goes on and that's unapproached. It's just not being dealt with. That's all. Yeah, AI is scary, man.
Yeah, man.
AI is deminer. I agree that AI can be scary. Okay. Adrian Smith from the world.
Yes, it is, bro.
What's up, folks?
Yeah, shout out to the UK, man. Worldwide, baby. Worldwide. Yeah, let's piggyback and talk about this, Lonzo. Nike, a Nike factory got hit this past weekend for over $200,000 of merchandise. And Nike just announced yesterday that they're permanently closing their Portland factory store over theft and safety issues. It's a weekly thing, bro. And I think it's gonna get worse when Christmas hits, man. For some reason, I think as we get closer to Christmas, it's going to be a daily thing.
You know what? Stores are going to shut down. Amazon gonna make a lot more money. Then they gonna hit Amazon. That's when the shit go fly. Run your ass up in Amazon and see what Jeff Bezos got for you. Okay? And that could be I don't know. I think I was about to say something that might be premature, but hitting an Amazon truck really wouldn't be that damn impressive because it's like bullshit surprise. You're
gonna get a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I'll be getting like wires for my my mixer and
my vitamin, my vitamin and my
dog food and shit.
Yeah, that kind of shit. So that really wouldn't be a big deal. But I remember back in the day, folks used to hit UPS trucks downtown LA because they would ship watches and jewelry UPS back in the day. That was a big thing. Man, I just think that if at some point in time, Gascon or the next DA the next DA is going to get elected to fix this shit. Okay, that's going to be and you're going to welcome what's her name that was here before Gascon? The sister. What was her name?
Man, I'm having a brain fart.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all said she was letting people out, and you know what, man, I understand folks going to jail for bullshit, losing their jobs, didn't DA kick the shit out. But this catch and release program they got right now, okay, this is bullshit. It's catch and release and with no type of anything. Man, It just seems to me that they're missing their money. Let a silver gun go to work. Let him do what he do. Put an ankle bracelet on his ass. Make him pay for that shit in the meantime. If he didn't do it, take it off. Take it off. Give him his money back. It's better than bail. It's better than locking somebody up in jail. Okay. It's better than locking somebody else up in jail. Locking somebody in jail. You're gonna wear this till your ass get back. Till you come back to court. This is what you got to wear. Okay.
Yep.
And that's gonna be embarrassing. First of all, it's gonna be embarrassing enough. You got this big ass beeper on your ass. Okay. You got a big ass beeper on your goddamn leg, and if you don't do what you're supposed to do, your ass gonna get violated. Because basically, that's part of the law game anyway. Is they give you small shit to get the big shit. Okay, they give you summary probation.
Exactly.
They give you summary probation. You ain't got to go piss in the jar. You ain't got to tap in. But if you get caught doing anything stupid while you're on summary probation, you got to actually go into jail or get informal probation. If you violate that shit, now you got to actually go into jail. If you go to jail, we're gonna let you out early on parole. But if you do something while that, they're gonna fuck you over again. So I just think, man, that I don't think nobody's really thinking. And what's really cold, man, is I was talking, like I said, I do a lot of civic stuff now with this Chamber of Commerce. I go to a lot of community meetings, and I'm listening to these people talk about prostitution. Now, as a young dude, I used to always go tease the prostitutes. I used to wave at them. When they was on Century Boulevard, I mean, they flash your ass in a minute, dude. That was fun, okay, for a youngster. I'm 16, 17, go by the racetrack. They waiting on the cat to lead the ninth race, so they can try and get their last little trick money. But as a grown-ass man with kids, girls, and you see how disrespectful they've become over the few years, and then they get classified as victims. So because they're victims, they get to victimize the community, which I think is the dumbest shit known to man. Think about that, because they may be under the supervision of a pimp, but everybody out there ain't under human trafficking. Everybody's not being human trafficked. Some people up there are out there because they want to, and even if they have a drug habit, pick them up, give them some treatment. But to be able to force kids to be exposed, especially young boys, especially kids, I'm sorry, both of them got issues. I mean, I saw a girl, all she had on was a string bikini and a string bra and some fluffy ass shoes. Okay.
What street was this? What street? Just kidding.
Long Beach Boulevard. I just left a meeting, man, talking about this shit. I turned the corner and there she is walking from a tree. She got on, man, string bikini. It's morning, 11 o'clock. String bikini, string bra, just barely got the nipples covered up, and built like all outdoors. But I'm like, damn. But ain't no. You can't hit them with the indecency program. You can't hit them with certain shit because they're victims. But meanwhile, the community becomes a victim to their victimhood. So you got victims creating victims. That's bullshit. And I don't see it happening in Carson. I don't see it happening in I see it happening. I don't see it happening in Inglewood like it used to be. Damn sure don't happen in Gardena. I'm trying to figure out why the victims is in Compton and not Carson and Inglewood and Paramount. I'm just curious. Linwood, you don't see them out there.
Yeah. That reminds me of the city of Downey. I went to Downey High School, and so I lived there from like 92, maybe to 96. And one of the first things I noticed when I got there, and this was even back in the 90s, if anyone doesn't know Downey is surrounded by Compton to the, south, Linwood, Southgate, Norwalk. And these are all rough, pretty much for the most part, pretty rough areas. And Downey somehow had figured it out to where there's no established gangs in Downey. We've talked about this before. And every time you go to Downey, within 5 to 10 minutes of driving down the street, you see a police officer. So I don't know what they did differently, but yeah, like it's crazy because you're seeing it's the opposite in Compton. All the cities around you have figured it out, but Compton just still hasn't figured it out.
We need to go to Paramount and go get some lessons because Paramount got sheriff, Carson got sheriff. Long Beach and Gardena have their own PDs. Inglewood has their own PD. So and that makes a big difference too. That I found out also when you have your own PD, you have different city municipal codes that you can enforce. But I know Carson has PD, Paramount has PD, has a sheriff. So it needs to be. It sounds like it needs to be a conversation with those three sheriff departments so that they can put a squash to the situation because it don't make no sense, man. That it seems like it's like laws don't apply in the hub sometimes.
That kills me, man. It's such a great city with a great history. I mean, going back to, you remember when you could walk down the street and black businesses everywhere. It still trips me out when I think about that just 35, 40, 45 years ago, short years ago, that there were black businesses.
You know, it's still a lot of businesses in Compton. They're just not. There's not it used to be a downtown Compton. There's a downtown now, where the shopping center is right now. The buildings were up against the sidewalk closer. There wasn't, the parking lot was in the back. Put it that way, not the parking lot's in the front. And as you went down Willowbrook, it was all business. And the way you see it after you cross Alameda is how it used to be from Willowbrook. Or I'm sorry, from Wilmington all the way down. It was storefront businesses the whole damn way. And also I found out that a lot of businesses in the city, a lot of vacant buildings. And rumor has it that those landowners use those buildings as write-offs. So you got property making money over here someplace else, Beverly Hills, but you buy a piece of property in Compton, don't rent it out to nobody. You just, you don't make no rent, no nothing. And you just let it sit there and write it off as a tax deduction. Well, that's something that the city code got to change. Hey, man, if you got a building in Compton, you got to maintain it. If you don't rent it out, I don't care. But you got to maintain it. You got to fit a certain code. And if you ain't going to rent it out, you damn sure need to do something with it to keep it from being an eyesore in the city.
Let's see what OG Steve says. He says, I know what Lonzo's talking about. When I was a teen, some crackhead hookers used to roll up on you like, what the F, with their breath smell like crack and ass.
Yeah. You know, and you know, it would be different if even the hookers were more respectful, you know, not walk around first thing in the morning, not, you know, give the school kids a break to get home. But they like Jack in the Box. They open 24 hours, Doc. You know, they open 24 hours and they blatant with it. And it's like one lady says, you know, she just got pissed off. She said, I came home, I got condoms in the street. I tried to go down the street and the hookers is talking to Johns and through the door, they got the ass all hung up. And they talking about, they get mad at me because I'm honking my horn. I'm trying to get in my driveway. I can't get in my driveway because this heifer got her ass out stuck in this window. It's bullshit, man. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, man. Keep it up, Lonzo. You got some great ideas, especially that snitch idea. Figure it out somehow. We're going to make it work. But since we're halfway through the show, I want to remind everyone to please hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. You are tuned in to Not Without Alonzo with Alonzo, the West Coast pioneer, the godfather of West Coast hip hop. I am Dusty Vision. Shout out to the chat room. If you have any more questions, please drop them and we'll get to them. Let's jump into something, Lonzo. Let's see here. I don't know much about this, but Deep Blue says, what do you think about Diddy giving his artists back their publishing? Have you heard anything about that?
I heard about that shit. Most of that shit is
talk to me, because I don't understand. You understand the business way more than anybody else. Is it good for Puffy, bad for Puffy, good for the artist? What talk to me?
It's good PR for Puffy. A lot of that shit is worthless. I'm not going to say worthless, but the value has been sucked out of it already. You remember Puffy did a lot of sampling. Puffy did a lot of
a ton of sampling.
Puffy ain't made the original beats. So when you don't make original beats, somebody else getting that publishing anyway. He may got a little bit of something for the creating the new tune, but his publishing from that situation is minimum. I heard he was paying was it Sting? I've been watching you for the Biggie song.
Sting for I'll Be Missing You.
Yeah, he was paying him
like $500,000 a week or some crazy ass number.
So that was a big hit for him. But you got to understand, most of the dude's records were sampled or they was created from somebody else. So his publishing may not be, nowhere near what Dre's was. And if it was, he said people offered him money for it. I think, like my boy, one of the cats was saying, he was like, shit, man, we should have sold it and cashed us out. Okay. Gave us our percentages. But he said, man, this shit might give me, a couple of dollars a year, or whatever the case may be. It's not like the publishing game, it's changed considerably. Unless you're getting commercials, which I thought was crazy. Yesterday, I'm in the pad, I'm watching a commercial, and it was for Jeep. What song did they drop? California Love. Okay. The people that bought Dre's publishing is putting that shit to work. Isaiah Edwards, much love to you.
Thank you, Isaiah. Good looking out.
The people that bought Dre's publishing putting that shit to work. Now, the difference with Dre versus Puffy, Dre redid a lot of his music. He actually had people come in the studio and replay a lot of those songs that he not really sampled. He borrowed from, whatever you want to call it. He did interpolations. So he may have gotten more of the publishing. He damn sure got the masters. Okay, Puffy just put the record on the needle, sampled that shit, and started talking. Totally different situation. So the publishing may not be as valuable as people may think it is.
Damn, I would have never thought about that until you break it down like that. That makes a lot of sense. Isaiah says most publishers, let me go up. Most publishers reverts back in 20 to 30 years anyway.
Writers, masters do. Masters, publishing, masters, copyright. That's what it's copyright. Copyrights go back in 30 years. If you own, let me see here. I don't want to lie. I know for a fact. I went through this recently on my Wrapped in Romance album with Sony, and I own the publishing. I was trying to get the masters back. But because I was a work for hire, they own those masters. I can't get them back. Okay? Because I was a work for hire. He's right. He's right to a certain degree, but it's based on your situation too. Publishing, depending on who you are, it could revert back to you. But again, it depends on your situation. So yeah, OG Steve, I see you, baby. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's the homie, man. Shout out to the Bronx. Vista Light says, and I don't know how true this is because we haven't seen it yet, and I don't even know if it's aired yet. But the MTV Awards are tonight, and he says they're doing a Hip Hop 50 tribute, and not one West Coast rapper or group is on the lineup.
No shit.
I don't know who's on the lineup. Do you, Lonzo? I have no idea. I'm watching that shit tonight. You just sold it for me. Vista Light, I'm watching that shit.
I just had a conversation today with a buddy of mine. He saw Kamala Harris getting her groove on in her California on, okay, and what nobody there that we knew from the West Coast there. Now, your problem with that is understand. I'm talking Southern California first. Everybody in Southern California, for the most part, except for Kendrick, is a gangster. That's your first problem. Okay. And as big as they are, they still represent something that she probably don't want to be attached to because of the lyrical overtone. Now, she may dance to that stuff, but to sit there and take a picture with them or have them at your event is a little bit different. That's why she had Common and some other folks there. Okay. And people have to understand this as you go out there and build your career. What are you building your career on? You building it on Percocet and killing folks, or you building it on having a good time and partying? Makes a big difference. Now she could have got maybe E40. Ain't no stigma with E40. Okay, no stigma. He does his what he calls the thug dizzle or whatever the case may be.
His dizzle.
The thug dizzle, and ain't nothing wrong with that. He created that whole situation. They could have got away. Nah, they couldn't have got away with Too Short. Too Short he's been doing too many hoes and shit. But
that's a rough sell.
But even even as the president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce, as I'm putting together this Eazy-E celebration, I got to be careful who I put on the bill. Do I want to put anybody on the bill? Do I just want to make it a bunch of speakers and go home? Because if you put certain folks on the bill, certain folks gonna show up. And I'm trying to establish something where Compton can continue to do things. I don't need nobody having a hood problem at my event. Okay? I don't need nobody having no hood problems at the event. As simple as that. So that being said, you got to be careful as you establish yourself as an artist. You want to be embraced by the hood, or you want to be loved by the world. Okay? The hood can love, and that's what a lot of your artists are selling themselves short. They go for the low vibe situation, and they come up quick, but they blow out. They just like fucking skyrockets. You ever seen a skyrocket on 4th of July? That so much blow up and shoot up in the sky and blow up, and you never see it again. That's what happens to a lot of your artists today. They like skyrocket. They shoot up in the sky. Yeah. They're beautiful for about 10 seconds. And next, and that's real talk.
Yeah, that's facts, dude. Hey, you talked about how you have to be careful inviting people to certain events and things like that. Let's talk about the 95 Source Awards. I was just watching some stuff. I believe it's been like their 20-something anniversary of that, 28th or whatever. But I know you were on the sidelines at that time. You were doing your club thing. But what do you remember when that whole thing was going down? The infamous, they were, for anyone who doesn't remember, they were in New York, and the West Coast had it popping in 1995. Everything coming out of the West Coast was fire. Above the Rim soundtrack won. I mean, Snoop's album, everything coming out of the West Coast. So they go to New York, and a lot of stuff went down, so much so that every time a West Coast artist got on stage, they would get booed. And Snoop Dogg made an infamous speech. Y'all don't love the West Coast. Y'all ain't got to love the West Coast. We in the East Coast and the motherfucker, So, and then Suge got up there and said his infamous speech, you don't want to have people all in the videos. Come to death row. But when you saw that going down, Lonzo, and maybe even knew some players, because interviewing a lot of hip hop artists in my time in the past few years, I knew a lot of people that were there. R.I.P. to Badass. AMG was there from DJ Quick's camp. He shared a story on my show. But what do you remember from the sidelines about the 95 Source Awards?
It made my asshole tighten up. Shit, these motherfuckers, it's crazy. Okay, because first of all, you own somebody else's home turf talking shit. I was listening to an interview that Quick did, and one that Fat Joe did. And like, man, I'm cool with these dudes, but damn, I'm still home. I got, you created a lot of conflict, man. That's a lot of. Now you got to leave here, go to the airport, go to the hotel, get your shit, and try to get to the airport. And you ever been in New York?
I have. It's not easy to get around.
Shit don't move fast in New York, man. Shit don't move fast in New York at all. Okay, so. What nobody was thinking. That was all the emotion right there. That was all the emotion. And that's what happens when you put emotion and guns together, somebody gonna get hurt. And that was a very volatile situation that Snoop was trying. He kind of diffused it, but he still
tried to, but he still was a little gangster with it.
So yeah, Doc, it was not a good time, man.
Yeah, I, as a hip hop lover at that time, yeah, it wasn't. And looking back in hindsight, it was horrible. But as a lover of hip hop at that time, I had my popcorn. I was like, oh, this shit is fucking great. And then obviously, sadly, Pac and Biggie died literally shortly just after that. Speaking of that, Lonzo, September 13th, which is like in 2 days.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, shit, that's the anniversary when Pac died, 1996, man. 27 years, if my math is correct. 27 years ago, Lonzo. Let's break it down. We talk about it once a year. Why not talk about it right now? 27 years ago, Pac died. What were your initial thoughts?
Tupac had already been shot before. He'd been in prison for a minute. And I figured, damn, they still shooting at people. What the fuck? And I figured he was gonna recover from the shit. Me and Adrian hadn't been talking at that time. And I didn't really, I was sad like everybody else. But I think I was more pissed off the after effect, because so many people was talking that we need to stop being all this violence, stop doing all this gangster stuff, blah 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 blah. And as soon as they buried that brother, they went right back to the bullshit, right back to like ain't nothing happened. And it's amazing to me how many people don't learn from other people's mistakes. This is probably the slowest year we've had for deaths in hip hop. Think about this, man. Remember last year, dude?
Oh, we were talking about it every other week. We were talking about a new rapper dying.
Sometimes 3 times in a month, we were talking about somebody getting smoked in the hip hop game. Now is this? I think this is probably the slowest year compared to last year.
You're right about that.
It's been very slow. I'm glad for that. That's a good thing to say. But you know, we also talk about people not making the money they used to make either. We're also talking about people not making the money. The concerts ain't selling tickets like they used to. You know, and this is something that people are going to realize at some point in time. The venues and the promoters are going to stop fucking with bullshit people. I just did a seminar Saturday at Compton College, and they asked me to speak. And one of the things I wanted to stress, they said, "More, you know, we can do the Spotify this and this right here on YouTube, but if your music is booty, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care what you do. It's booty, okay? This shit is whack." And until somebody actually start making some real music, but here's your problem with the real music potential. Who in the hell wants to hire a studio engineer, spend, I don't know, $10, $15, $20,000 on a project to get 100 spins and get a penny? Who wants to hire real musicians at potential union rates to get pennies on that's why a lot of you big boys don't make music like that, because it's not economically feasible. It's only economically feasible for those who have big followings and those who don't mind eating the crumbs. If anybody should be joining the fucking strike, should be musicians, should be out there right along with the goddamn writers and the writers and actors, because they did it to y'all first. They did it to us first, I should say. They ganked us first, but because the generation that's there now is doing everything computer generated, and whatever they get, they're happy to get. Okay, but when you got grown people to feed at the pad, and you've been used to getting money, real money, for a long period of time, all of a sudden this streaming shit comes along, and all of a sudden you got 4 or 5 new billionaires, but everybody else starving. That's bullshit. You got Spotify charge $10.95 a month. A subscription. They making billions. They got stockholders the whole 9 yards, and the artists ain't getting shit. So you providing content, they getting the $10.95 plus commercials, and you still providing content and getting 79 spins for a penny. Man, that's slavery. That's fucking slavery.
And yeah, man, breaking it down. Let's see. Yeah, R.I.P. to Tupac. What's your favorite Pac song, Lonzo?
You Can't See Me.
Oh, okay. Yes, we've talked about that's your phone. That used to be your phone thing.
That's my my alarm from. It used to be my phone ringtone, but I'd be in a business meeting.
That's right.
Tupac come over like this nigga. I had to change that shit.
George Clinton is on that song, yes. Right? That's him opening up.
Yep.
Tell me about George Clinton. I don't think we've ever talked about him. Well, back in the 70s, you know, when you're coming up, what was? Tell us about George Clinton back then.
Man, George Clinton was a band. George Clinton started off doing in a doo-wop group with the slick hair and shit, and that was in the late 70s. And then he went funky. I forgot, he hooked up with Sly, hooked up with somebody. And James Brown or somebody turned him on to the funk, and he became a master, dude. I mean, he took what James Brown did and put it on the folk, because James Brown always been funky, always will be funky. But if you listen to George Clinton's music, George Clinton's music has what they call polyrhythms, which you got 5, 6 different things on the same time. You could listen to a George Clinton record and never hear shit you never heard 20 years ago. Okay. All right. There's sounds, if you hear, especially if you hear it in headphones, you got all kind of little sounds jumping off in that shit, man. And I remember me and Roger from Uncle Jam's Army, when Flashlight first came out, and we were damn near fight who's gonna play that motherfucker. Because the one thing about Flashlight, that's not much you're finna get the party cracking. Okay. It's about to get the Flashlight, Aqua Boogie, and Knee Deep, only followed by damn it, One Nation Under Groove.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that's that, man. And when you saw George Clinton, when you landed the mothership at the Santa Monica Sports Arena, Doc, dude, that was some funky shit, man. This dude had a ship come down, and he walked out the front door, and he had these cats on the stage. Some cats had on blonde wig, diapers. He came out with a blonde wig on, some other shit. And George just was a funky dude, man. He just was a funky dude, crazy the motherfucker. But he just had that element. He let people do what they do. Bernie Worrell, Bootsy, even got my boy from the Spinners, Felipe Wynn, to sing on Knee Deep. Man, that shit just flowed, Doc. That was some funky shit, dude. That shit is 50 years old, and people still love it today. 50 years old. Flashlight is 50 years old. Came out in 73.
Man.
73? 74. No. It came out 70. It ain't 50 years old. Not quite. It's like 47, 48. Came out right after high school. Okay. But he had some shit. I remember playing Mothership Connection. I was 19 years old at the park, out in at the Peck Park. And that shit was rocking the park then. Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. If you hear any noise, it's just me and the boy. Man, that shit was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Come on. Thank you, Gary's Garage 78.
Hey, Lonzo, I remember you talking about this in the past. Art Chavez says, Lonzo, is it true when you play George Clinton at a party, gangbangers will calm down and throw their signs and dance with the ladies?
Hell yeah. It changed the whole vibe of the set, man. It would change the whole vibe of the set, man. And then all of a sudden, at some point in time, niggas started crip walking, and that just changed everything to another level. But back in the day, folks would do their thing, man. It was a whole nother groove, dude. I mean, theme for the Black Hole, Marlon Cozy, you're a true funketeer, man. Agony of the Feet, come on, man. I'm gonna take my shoes off. The Agony of the Feet, man, that was the shit. I mean, one of the most fun parts about a George Clinton album was the goddamn album covers and the liner notes. Because Homeboy would draw some intricate shit in that thing, man. It would be all kind of the same. Well, I don't know if it was the same guy that did Snoop Doggy Style, but it was the same kind of vibe. If you open up a Snoop Doggy Style album cover, a CD cover back in the day, it had the same kind of vibe to it. I don't know if it's the same guy or not, but it had this intricate ass stories and like a comic book, and even the credits and shit looked like something you saw in a comic book. Man, it just was a different experience, dude. Different experience.
Yeah, such good times, man. Such good times. So Isaiah had a great question, man. 9/11 just passed, Lonzo. I can't believe it's already been 22 years since 9/11 passed. It says, Lonzo, Dusty, where were y'all when 9/11 happened? I'll be quick. I listen to Howard Stern every morning while I was getting ready for work, and he was talking about it on his show, talking about this plane had just went into the tower. I'm like, wait, what? And he's from New York, so I was like, oh shit. So as soon as I turn the TV on, within minutes, I see the second plane go into the towers, and I even remember telling my chick, we're gonna go to war. We're going to war, and yeah, that's what I remember about 9/11. It was a sad day too. It made me question a lot of things, my religion, like my spiritual, everything, man. It made me do I trust the government? Do I trust what the hell's going on? But what were your thoughts, Lonzo, when 9/11 happened?
I was laying in the bed, and My lady screamed. She was getting ready to go to work. She screamed. She, ah! What the fuck is wrong with you? They just ran into some buildings. I looked. I said, God damn. Oh shit! There's another one. I screamed. Ah! So it was like, God damn. What the fuck? And I thought it was coming. The world was coming to an end, dude. It felt like the world was coming
Me too.
to an end. I'm like, what the fuck?
I remember walking around looking up.
Yeah,
You remember that, Lonzo? I was just looking up, like, man, something's gonna happen. I was scared, bro.
Yeah, and then you start seeing people run, and then I mean, after that, I couldn't take my eyes off the news the rest of the day, man. That's two times I couldn't. Two times I couldn't get my eyes off the news was the OJ trial and 911. I watched the OJ trial from the first gavel to the last motherfucking verdict. Okay, that was some interesting shit. That was like 95. 95 was a lot of shit going on in 95. 95, 96, we was busy in the summer, God.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I got to say this before we go. I haven't talked about it much on the show. I was kind of holding back till we actually got something for y'all to see. But if you are a fan of new artists, I got my TV channel. It's running across the screen right now. The Compton Entertainment Channel. We launched our original television show called Global Showcase this Friday on the TV channel. Okay, we have 4 episodes. We're dropping episode 1 with 3 acts. Okay, it's only a half-hour show, but we're doing something a little bit different. We give people a chance to perform, and we come out and sit down and talk to them, just like they did on Arsenio Hall show. Because I noticed on YouTube, either you play the music or you do an interview, but you can't do both. So one of the shows we just launched called the Global Showcase. It was shot in the Mert Park right here by my boy Velo for Trail Vision. My girl Monica was my talent coordinator. I was the host, and we got some dope shows. I mean, my son played drums, and it's growing. Okay, it's something. It was an idea I had, and my people like, you know what? Let's make it happen. So we got the room, we hooked up the cameras, we shot the acts, and it's kind of dope. Everybody ain't as dope as they could be, but you're gonna see things. You're gonna see people that you may see in the future, and that's the part I like about this shit. You don't know where nobody going to be in the next few years. It's all a part of the lyrical revolution. Because I don't promote bullshit. If you're talking about killing somebody, I don't fuck with that. Okay. If you ain't, and I ain't telling you to be no gospel rapper. I'm just saying stop killing your people. That's all. So Friday, the 15th, we're launching the show. It's going to be on my channel, the Compton Entertainment channel. Also, my boy has an app called Trail Vision. Download both of them on Android and iPhone. Check it out, folks, and give us your feedback. Who you think be next? So keep it 100.
I love that, man. I love that. You got your prostate walk coming up this Saturday too, right?
We walking Saturday morning at Cal State Dominguez. Now on Saturday morning, I'm gonna probably go live, folks, on the channel. And I'm doing a Lonzo thon. If you can't come out there, folks, feel free. I'm gonna have a QR code. Feel free to donate, man. Everybody can't walk. Some people got to go to work. They got stuff to do. But if you want to support prostate cancer awareness, just come online with us. We're gonna be people gonna be coming through, and I'm gonna do just like Jerry Lewis used to do. I got my boy Showtime and Earl E-Connect. E-Connect gonna be online with me. And we're going to walk and talk and get people to hopefully donate to the prostate cancer awareness, because you don't understand how serious that shit is. Doctor say, I got some news for you. I'm calling this one right here. This event is going to be called Keeping My Promise to God. Because when I had prostate cancer, I told God, if you get me through this, I'm going to do everything I can that people know, that brothers know, this shit ain't no joke. And I'm keeping my promise. So help me keep my promise, folks. Saturday, we'll be online for about an hour or two. Please come. If you can't come out, just donate. That's all. Then I'm gonna be at KGLH on the same campus, Cal State Dominguez Hills. I'll be a part of a panel with my boy Courtney Mims and some other folks talking about prostate cancer and men's health in general. So it's gonna be a full day. I'll be live. I'll be through there. Come on through. Hang out with me for a minute. If you can't come through, just watch it on the show, on the channel. We'll be going live. All right, there we go.
One more time, Lonzo, if they can't make it to the event, where do they donate to? And for anyone who donates to the show, we appreciate that. But, if anyone else or if the people who donate regularly want to donate.
I have a QR code set up, so it'll be part of the show to scan the QR code, or you can donate. Oh, shit, I got to look it up.
Can we post the QR code in our community tab?
Yeah, it's Lyrical Revolution. That's my nonprofit. Or you can send it to me at $ Lonzo Infotainment. Either one, it'll still get there. But yeah, we're trying to get prostate cancer awareness out there, because now they done dropped the age limit to 40.
Whew.
So some of y'all need to go get them fingers. It's only one. Yeah, folks, it's a lot going on. And I hope y'all support it. Like I said, we'll be live Saturday morning. It'll be early, though, about 9 till about 11 or so. So, folks, come on through. If you can't come out, support. I'd appreciate it. All right.
All right, man. Always a pleasure, dude. And Marlon wants to hear your rap before we head out.
All right. For those of you who never heard of me, I'm the one that put Dr. Dre in the surgery, put Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold, on the eve after dark, center stage Super Bowl. Now, in the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me as a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit, because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than most of y'all will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Much love to you, folks. Peace.